Hello students and welcome to the class of English Literature. I hope you all are doing good. Students, today we are going to study a very nice story of A Legend of Rubezahl. Dear students, before we read the chapter, let's hear the story and understand what is the chapter all about. This chapter, The Legend of Rubezahl, is about two main characters, that is a glazier who is a glass cutter, and Rubezahl, who is a magical man. In this chapter, Glazier is a poor glass cutter who is taking a heavy glass through the mountains. Due to the load of glass in sunny day, he feels tired and wants to rest. He then starts finding a place for himself where as he is doing, Rubezahl, who is seeing him for quite some time, thinks to trick him. Rubezahl changes himself into a natural hill made of sand. Glazier sees the hill and decides to rest there. He keeps the glass down and sits on this hill. All of a sudden, the hill disappears and Glazier falls down and his glass also breaks. Poor Glazier gets very upset. He lifts himself up and upon seeing the broken glass, he starts crying because now he won't be able to take food for his family as he has no money left and the glass is also broken. The sad Glazier gets up and starts walking again, and Rubezahl comes and greets him and asks the reason of him being so sad. Glazier tells him the reason about his broken glass and that he has no money to take back home. Hearing this, Rubezahl apologizes for the trick he played on Glazier and promised to help him. Rubezahl tells the Glazier that he will change himself into a donkey and the Glazier can take him and sell him to the cruel miller. The Glazier took Rubezahl there and sold him to the miller for $9. As Glazier left with the money, Rubezahl disappeared once again, leaving the miller and his helper in a shock. At the end of the story, Rubezahl teaches the cruel miller a lesson and Glazier returns home happily with his $9. प्यारे बच्चों, अब हम यही कहानी उर्दू में सुनेंगे। ये कहानी लेजेंड ऑफ रुबेज़ाल दो मेन कैरेक्टर्स की है, ग्लेजियर और रुबेज़ाल। एक दफ़ा का जिक्र है, ग्लेजियर सफ़र कर रहा था पहाड़ों में। वहाँ बहुत सारे नुकीले पत्थर थे और मौसम गर्म होने की वजह से वो बहुत ज़्यादा थक भी गया था। ग्लेजियर ने थोड़ा आराम करने का सोचा। ग्लेजियर शीशे का काम करता था और वो शीशा ही उठाकर पहाड़ों से गुजर रहा था। रुबेज़ाल पहाड़ों में रहने वाला एक शरारती भूत था जिसके पास बहुत सारी शक्तियाँ थीं। वो अपने आप को किसी भी चीज़ में तब्दील कर सकता था। रुबेज़ाल ग्लेजियर को काफ़ी वक्त से देख रहा था और जब उसने ग्लेजियर को देखा कि वो अपने बैठने के लिए जगह ढूंढ रहा है, तो रुबेज़ाल ने अपने आप को एक मिट्टी के टीले में तब्दील कर लिया। ग्लेजियर ने जब मिट्टी का टीला देखा तो उसने अपना शीशा नीचे रखा और टीले पे बैठ गया। जैसे ही ग्लेजियर बैठा, रुबेज़ाल वहाँ से गायब हो गया और ग्लेजियर नीचे गिर गया। उसका शीशा भी टूट गया। ग्लेजियर बहुत परेशान हुआ क्योंकि अब उसके पास घर लेके जाने के लिए ना शीशा था ना पैसे। वो उसी परेशानी की हालत में उठा और दोबारा चलने लगा। जैसे ही वो चलने लगा, रुबेज़ाल अचानक उसके सामने अब एक इंसान की शक्ल में आया और उससे उसके उदास होने की वजह पूछी। ग्लेजियर ने उसको बताया कि कैसे मिट्टी का टीला उसके नीचे से गायब हो गया और वो गिर गया, उसका शीशा भी टूट गया। रुबेज़ाल ने जब ये पूरी बात सुनी तो उसने अपनी शरारत की माफ़ी मांगी ग्लेजियर से और उसे यकीन दिलाया कि वो उसके पैसे लौटाने में उसकी मदद करेगा। रुबेज़ाल ने ग्लेजियर को बोला कि वो अपने आप को एक खच्चर में तब्दील करेगा जिसको वो जाकर जालिम और लालची कारखाने के मालिक को बेच दे और अपने पैसे वसूल कर ले। ग्लेजियर, जिसको पैसों की ज़रूरत थी, उसने रुबेज़ाल की बात मान ली और उसे कारखाने के मालिक के पास ले गया। कारखाने के मालिक को ग्लेजियर ने खच्चर $9 का बेचा और वहाँ से चला गया। ग्लेजियर के जाने के बाद रुबेज़ाल भी वहाँ से थोड़ी देर में गायब हो गया। कारखाने के मालिक को और उसके काम करने वाले को सदमे में छोड़ के। कारखाने के मालिक को एंड तक समझ में नहीं आया कि वो खच्चर एकदम गायब कैसे हो गया। आखिर में ग्लेशियर को उसके पैसे वापस मिल जाते हैं और रुबेज़ाल कारखाने के मालिक को सबक सिखाने में कामयाब हो जाता है। Students, since now we have understood the chapter, we will start the reading. Once I am reading, I want you to keep your fingers on your book. Let's begin. Once upon a time, a glazier was traveling across the mountains. The mountain path was narrow, dusty, and covered in small sharp stones. To the side of the path were prickly shrubs and boulders. In the sky above, the sun shone brightly, which made the glazier's load feel heavier. The glazier was a good man who worked hard. He was feeling very tired from carrying a heavy load of glass on him, so he began to look about for a place where he could rest. Rubezahl, a mountain sprite, had been watching the glazier for some time. As soon as he saw that the glazier was looking for a place to stop, he skipped ahead around a bend in a path and changed himself into a little mound covered in soft grass that looked like a comfortable place to rest. When the glazier discovered the mound in his way, he smiled and feeling very pleased. He put down the glass and sat himself down. "Ah, that's better," he said, but his joy was not to last. After just a few minutes, the mound vanished from under him so rapidly that the poor glazier fell to the ground with his glass. The fall smashed the glazier's glass into 1,000 pieces. The poor fellow arose from the ground and looked around him, but the mound of earth had disappeared. The glazier began to wail and groan bitterly. "Oh no, oh no, my family will go hungry," he sighed with heartfelt sorrow over his bad luck, and looked in dismay at the glass shreds scattered around him. How was he going to earn any money? After a while, the glazier started once more on his journey. He walked slowly with his head down and a frown on his face. At this point, Rubezahl, the mischievous mountain sprite, quickly disguised himself as a traveler. He walked up a side path and greeted the glazier. "Hello, my good man." The glazier tried to smile, but his worry and disappointment was plain to see on his face. Rubezahl to him, "Why do you look so sad on this sunny day? What has given you such a great sorrow?" The glazier told him the whole affair, how that, being weary, and he had seated himself upon a mound by the wayside, how it had suddenly disappeared from under him and broke to pieces his whole stock of glass, which was well worth at least $8. "I don't know how am I going to recover this loss," he wailed. The compassionate mountain sprite confronted him. He confessed who he was and told him that he himself had played the trick. "Don't worry and be happy, for I will help you get your money back," he told him. The astonished glazier agreed to do as Rubezahl said. As the glazier watched in amazement, Rubezahl transformed himself into a donkey. He told the glazier to take him down to the path to the mill, which lay at the foot of the mountain, and to sell him to the miller. Rubezahl made the glazier promise to be sure to leave with the money as quickly as possible. Feeling excited about the prospect of getting his money back, the glazier immediately climbed on the back of the donkey and rode him down the mountain to the mill. The miller was a cruel man who had cheated many poor people over the years. He worked his animals and servants too hard. He needed a good donkey. The glazier offered the donkey for sale to the miller at the fair price of $10. The miller offered 9, and the glazier, without further haggling, took the money and happily went on his way. When he was gone, the miller shouted for the stable boys, who immediately ran up to the mill. The miller said, "Hey, get this donkey some hay." The stable boy gently led the donkey down to the stable and into the stall. He filled a rack with hay and patted the donkey's back. "There you go, old chap. Better eat quickly because you will be set to work soon." Still in the form of donkey, Rubezahl exclaimed, "I don't eat hay. I eat nothing but roasted and boiled turnips. Nothing but the best." The boy's hair stood on end. He flew to his master and related to him this wondrous tale. The miller and the boy rushed back to the stable. There they found nothing. The donkey, like the $9, had vanished. The miller was so shocked that he forgot to shout at the boy and scratched his head in puzzlement. Back on the mountain, Rubezahl laughed to himself. The mean miller had been punished. The glazier, with the $9 in his pocket, was happy again, and Rubezahl had enjoyed himself by playing tricks. Thank you, students, for hearing out.